there is a great deal of anger, Harmy. I mean, how often do you play golf 3 days in a row? And how stiff are you if you do play 18 holes 3 days in a row? Because I can hardly walk. Usman Khawaja, Usman Khawaja played 3 days of golf, won a competition with 41 Stapleford points apparently on the day before, and then suffered back spasms. Cricket Australia says you can't prove that it's unrelated.
Yeah, I think it's one of them ones where when I mean golf gets a bad name when things don't go right. I mean, it's bad enough trying to get sort of 26 table for points, but so you have you have that, I think, that stick to bat with them, pardon the pun, that if England don't get it right, we all blame golf. I'm Usman Khawaja. I think 3 days, 3 games in 3 days is a little bit of a stretch for somebody who's 38 years old to go and potentially bat for 2 days and win a test match. So it's only relevant when it goes wrong. And unfortunately for Khawaja, this could be the end of his career. And whether it's 3 days golf that's had it, then so be it. I mean, I play golf every day when we can, and yeah, it's a little bit stiff and sore, but that's walking around. I can't imagine these lads are walking around. He's sitting in a buggy. The only thing, getting in and out of buggies and stuff like that, hot and sweaty places, back does seize up. But try to justify this here. If it's got something to do with he's playing golf, then so be it. But these lads play golf 2, 3, 4 days in a row, leading into most test matches. England do it. He was playing with Mitchell Stark. I think Mitchell Stark played 3 days in a row as well. 2 days, 2 days out of three, and he got 10th. So I just think it's always magnified when it goes wrong. And unfortunately, from Khawaja's point of view, it'd be interesting to see where the selection goes, Travis Head and stuff like that. And Malcolm Conn said at the end of section 1, Crash is talking about it and the way the sort of the Australians see baseball. If Travis Head opens the batting and Josh Inglis comes into the middle, Australia are going more towards baseball than their old way of absorbing the game, because Travis Head's going to the top of the order to keep pressure on England. Josh Inglis comes into the middle order if he does. Bob Webster comes into the middle order. They're more naturally aggressive than they are to absorb the game. So Khawaja coming out of the team, if he does, Australia's game plan changes a little bit. It goes more baseball than it does going the other team game plan that's won so many test matches. That's got them probably one of the best teams in the world for the last 2 or 3 years. So I'd be cautious about what happens with Khawaja if I was Australia. Do you leave him out, go away from your Khawaja, other opener, Labuschagne and Smith, absorbing the game a little bit more, and then you've got more expansive players in Head, Green, Carey coming down the middle order, to then go on all eggs in one basket England way and saying, right, we're going to go Head in first, Inglis at number 5 and number 6. And now we are going to, because you've got Weatherall, and he's the one that comes out firing shots as well. You've just slagged England off for playing baseball. Now you're going to do it yourself. It's a little bit cheeky, sorry, but I'm just trying to.
Yeah, got it.
But you know what I'm saying?
I do. Let's hear what Steve Smith said about Uzi's love of golf.
His preparation was the same as it's been for every test match I think that he's played. So yeah, there was nothing out of whack there by any stretch, and unfortunately just pulled up a bit lame early on in the game, and that happens when your back goes on you. I've been there myself, when your back seizes up, and it's not a nice place to be. So, I can feel his pain right now.
He's played 3 rounds of golf before every test match. Really?
I think that's a bit of a stretch. I think, yeah. I think possibly what Stephen's saying is that the day before a test match, in the majority of Usman Khawaja's career, he's played golf. But so's Joe Root, so's Ben Stokes, Ollie Pope, Zach Crowley. They've all played golf the day before. We've seen the manners, haven't we? They've come and practiced first thing in the morning. By lunchtime, they've had lunch at the golf course, had a game of golf, buggies. You get away from the noise and the pressure that you put yourself under in a hotel room or a team room because you can't leave anywhere. So, like I said before, I've got no issue with golf. Three rounds in 3 days as a 38-year-old might be a bit of a stretch before the first test match, but golf is only blamed when things go wrong. England will be criticised for preparation stuff and not playing 4-day games because there'll be stones will be thrown at them because they want to play golf. That's not the case. There's nothing wrong with the golf. Unfortunately, the cricket is what's the problem at this moment in time.
Okay. Let's there's a lot of speculation about Travis Head continuing to open. Let's hear from the man himself. Of course, he scored 123 in the run chase off just 83 balls. One of the great innings. It really was. This is what he had to say when he was asked about continuing in that role for the rest of the Ashes.
I'm not worried about personal accolades or anything in this team. I feel like if I could play a role at any stage, and we went around the circles a little bit once Steve sort of had a crack at it, and it was Nath had a go at, like, it was just each time I sort of just put my name in and said, why not? Like, I'd do it in other formats. Could there be an opportunity to do what Davey had done? We were sort of looking for that role, someone to go out there and be a bit more aggressive, and I thought there's every chances. Did it in Sri Lanka, did it numerous times. I've done it in international cricket a lot now, so I brewed the idea, but I can also see that like 3, 4 and 5 has worked pretty well. I understand where Ron and Pat are at, so all the conversations have been pretty fluent. We have a great relationship, and that's how they wanted to build their team around us at 3, 4 and 5, and that's how it's been. So, and it's worked pretty well. So I can see both sides, but I'm always putting my hand up. Look, I'm not going really aggressive at it, but I'm putting my hand up. If the team requires it, I'm more than happy to do it and keep the option there. And if they don't do it, it's fine. I'm not nor here nor there on it.
It's not a resounding no, is it?
No,
in fact,
no.
it's a resounding yes.
Yeah, I think it is a resounding yes. It's, I want to go up to the top and, chance my arm and have a go. He wants to do what Davey Warner did. Like I said before, there's a couple of things in this. One, you're changing dynamics of the way the team has built quite a lot of success in the last couple of years under Pat Cummins, which is absorb the game through Usman Khawaja, Marnus Labuschagne, and Steve Smith, and then Head comes through. That changes that dynamic. Two, I've said this many times, Manus, to you about players of an age. Once you leave them out, they're gone. You don't come back. So if you leave Usman Khawaja out of the Brisbane Test match, he retires. That's him finished. He's 38-year-old. But if all of a sudden Travis gets nicked off twice at Brisbane, gets nicked off twice at Adelaide, all of a sudden that inexperienced player that comes into the middle order exposes the tail, then you're going, well, we want Travis back in the middle order. Well, Usman Khawaja's had 6 different openers, and you're now finding another one for Usman because you can't bring him back because he's already gone. There are questions that I think the selectors are probably looking at. What England have got to do is, I think England, even though it sounds stupid, England are, and I'm very good at making myself sound stupid, but if England want the best outcome, I think the best outcome, even though he's done what he's done at Perth, would be for Travis Head to open the baton. Because if you get the ball moving, you're vulnerable with the new ball. All of a sudden, if you've knocked Head over first up, I mean, that's massive when it comes to their game plan in the middle order. So I would rather, from England's point of view, that Head opens the baton, because there's more chance of me knocking him over more consistently with a newer ball in the next 8 innings if my plan B is better, because you get your plan A, but the problem with England, I thought their plan B, C and D and E and all the way to Z went out the window in them 86 balls when he got 100. I think if England get that better, then I think it would be better off for England if Travis does come up on the baton, because there's more chance of getting him early than there is possibly getting him with an older ball coming in at number 5.